Hello and welcome to another episode of Live Feed with your host, Richard Santiago. Live Feed is brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher for all your digital resources. Check out travelingtechteacher.com. Also brought to you by thebullyexposed.com. Go to represent.com/story/thebullyexposed to get your Bully Exposed shirts. Guys, I want to tell you that you can subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Nonfiction Filmmaker, non-fiction filmmaker. For some reason, if you don't put that dash, it's hard to find us. Help us get to 1,000 subs so we could take that money and do good things with it. Also, remember about our friend Marcus from the Angel app. Marcus from the Angel app. Tully, thank you for joining the show. And as usual, guys, I want to tell you guys that there are ways to support the bullyexposed.com without even spending a dime. That's right. Share their posts, like their posts, tag their posts, comment on their posts, post a pic. If you buy a shirt, post a pic, send that to us, tag us on it, and shout us out. You could also leave a review. And don't forget, guys, you can do like our friend, so much things here. So you could be like our friend What's Right. Screenshot one of our posts, whichever one's your favorite one, put it up on your feed, and we will give you a shout out. Don't forget to tag us. If you don't tag us, then we don't know you did it. Voice What's Right did it 3 times, so good job for you, Voice What's Right. They seem to like our post, and they screenshot it and post it on their own, and that's fine by us. We don't mind that, guys. We don't mind that. That's okay. So thank you for joining us again on our second episode today. And Tully, thank you for joining us. So we're talking about the fact that when I get to Italy, I gotta get a license as quick as possible, because the vehicle that we have there waiting for us in Italy is stick shift, and my wife does not drive stick. So I'm the only one that drives stick in the family right now. Hopefully my son will learn. If you guys remember, my son's old enough to drive in Guam, but I don't know if he's going to be old enough to drive in Italy. But yeah, so we've been going over some of the questions that appear on the test. So let's go through some more without wasting any more time. So Tully, how was driving for you in Australia? Was it easy for you to get your test? Was it difficult? Tully says, great to know. I'll continue to create something like that on my post. Oh, okay, great. Yes, thank you, Tully. Yes, just screenshot, guys, your favorite post and put it on your feed, and we'll shout you out. So let's see. Caution and speed. No. Caution and reduce speed. See, I don't know what this is. When I advance to the next question, it gives me the answer first. I gotta remember that. Okay, blinking yellow light at an intersection means, and of course I already gave the answer away, and now it's not going over to the answer. Let me go to the next one. Sorry, guys. Let's see. 81 miles per hour or 130 kph, unless, again, it's giving me the answer. Give me the question first. I'm sorry that I'm sorry. This is just not working out the way I expected. The speed limit for a sedan, POV, privately owned vehicle, on the autostrada is, and I already gave the answer out. It's not going to go back to here it is, 81 miles per hour, 130 kilograms per hour, unless posted. All right, let's see if we can get to the next question without actually seeing the answer. Uh, you are entering the Estrada. Who has the right of way? That's always a good question to know. Traffic already on the Estrada, right? That makes sense. Tali says, I found it difficult learning to drive, but I kept trying and trying. After 18 months, I got it. Awesome. When did you first have your license? I've had my license, if any of you are wondering. I've had my license since I was 19 years old. I started to get it when I was 18, and I failed the test, and then I let it elapse, and then I finally got it and got it real quickly. So since 19 years old, so I've had my license quite a while. I'm not going to tell you how long, but I've had my license quite a while. How long have you had your license, Tully? And you lived in two areas in your life, right, Tully? Do they drive on the same side of the streets in the two? If you lived in two different areas, did they drive on the same side of the street in the two different areas that you lived in? Because it would be interesting one day to. Um, I don't know if my wife can ever get a base in the UK. I mean, a job in the UK. I know that she can never get a job in Australia because I don't think they have anything in Australia. But if they had something in the UK and we could end up working there, I wonder, or she can end up working there, I wonder if how it would be driving on the opposite side. I mean, you just got to remember, just like we remember here to drive on the right, you just have to remember to always stay on the left, stay on the left. I can remember there were some Australian people on the base about 3 months ago, and the Australian girl kept on going to the left and almost got into an accident because she kept on wanting to go to the left, and people were like, "You gotta stay on the right. You gotta stay on the right," and that was really crazy. Tali says, Heather, thank you for joining the show. Where are you from, Heather? Tali says, I've had my license since 1989. Okay. So 89, so we probably got our license around the same time then, give or take a year. Um, yeah, did I have my license? 88, 89, I was 20. Oh yeah, I've had my license a long time, yeah. I was 21 at that time, so I had it for a while. Let's see. I'm pretty sure, says Tully, that there are lots of teacher jobs in Australia for your wife. Well, the thing is that she works for the Department of Defense of America. So if there aren't bases where there are children, then she can't work. And I don't think we might have a base in Australia, but I don't think it's a base where families go. There are some bases in all over the world that they have families, and then there's bases where they don't have families, where it's just single accompanied service members, I believe is what they're called, single accompanied. So that means the wife either stays at home or the person is single. And those are usually areas where I believe, I'm not in the military, but according to what my friends say, it's probably areas, I don't know where those areas are either, but it's areas where there can be a battle at any time. You know, I don't know what they call them. I would probably, as a civilian, I would call them, high risk areas where at any moment a fight can turn out and you don't want to evacuate children or civilians from that area. Like Kuwait. Like again, I have no knowledge of this information. I'm just taking a guess, but I would guess that there are no schools for children in Kuwait because at any time anything can break out there. So that's the problem with Australia. If we were to go and live in Australia, my wife would have to quit her job, and I know she's not doing that. So that's how that works, unfortunately. So again, I don't know if there's anything in the UK, if there's any American bases in the UK, but it'd be interesting to try to drive up there. And I don't have to, as long as I get an international license, I will be able to drive if in the UK, whenever we go to visit there, because we're definitely going to visit there. Let's see. Telly says, what about the Australian naval base here in naval base located in Rockingham? I don't know if it's an American naval base, but from my understanding, there are no jobs that my wife can take over in Australia. Unfortunately, that's a shame because we really wanted to go there. It was definitely on our list of places to go. So we're just gonna have to one day either come back and live on this side of the earth and go visit Australia, or we're gonna have to take a nice long trip from the EU to the AU. You know what I'm saying? That sounds pretty cool. The EU to the AU. Let's see. In a tunnel, you are required to use your headlights, and the answer is always, whether the tunnel is lit or not. When it comes to this, Molly, thank you for joining the show. Where are you from? When it comes to driving, I always have my my lights on, always. And I know I've been reading a few things about Australia, of how it is mandatory, I believe, to always drive with your headlights on, and that's something that I always do. And that comes from riding a motorcycle, I think. That's a habit that I picked up from riding a motorcycle, to always have your lights on. They can see you better, and it's so much better for you. All right, let's see. Let's see here. No worries, Tully says. Perhaps you can visit on your next holiday destination. Yeah, definitely something we want to do. We want to go out there. Let's see. You are approaching a railroad crossing when you see a blinking red light. What does this indicate? Everybody knows that the train is coming. A train is coming. Stop immediately. I'll tell you guys a story. We'll mix this up with a little bit of learning, a little bit of storytelling. When I used to live in New York, and we moved out to a place called Long Island, there was the LIE. No, I'm sorry. The LIE is the highway. Sorry, Long Island Expressway. That's the highway that goes in and out of Long Island to New York City. There was the LIRR, the Long Island Railroad. Now, the Long Island Railroad was not like a railroad like you see in New York. It was sort of like the old school type of trains, where they have the crossing thing comes down. There was a guy one time that was the gates have come down, the train is coming. The guy looks, he doesn't see the train. He decides to weave his way through the guards rails, or whatever they call it, the arms that come down on the train. And that train caught him. I don't think he lived. But so don't mess around whether you got the arms that come down or you don't. Definitely don't want to go when you see those lights, you don't see a train, wait. Get out of your car if you have to and look. But don't try to cross with your car, because that train is coming fast and it can't stop. Let's see. Telly says, my wife always calls me out on my driving mistakes. My wife always calls me out. She thinks I drive too fast. I don't think I do. Let's see here. The greatest hazard in city driving in Italy. What is the greatest hazard of city driving in Italy? Well, let's find out. It's the destiny of two-wheel vehicles. Okay, bicycles, mopeds, and motor scooters. So those are the biggest hazards. Yeah, because they think they can fit everywhere. That's why. Signal in advance your intentions. No, I think that might be the answer. Again, I don't know why this. When you advance to the next level, for some reason it gives you the answer. It switches over to the answer rather than switching over to just the question. At any time, anytime that you intend to turn left or right, stop, you should, and of course I gave the answer away already, signal your intention to do so. That's like driving 101, right? Nothing, we haven't learned anything new in this episode. That's for sure. In the earlier episode, Tully, I was showing, and probably I'll go to that before the end of this show. I was showing some signs, Italian signs that are in the test. And again, for those of you that are joining us new, so the test is 100 questions. You get 2 tests, 50 questions on each test. You could only miss 4 of them on each test. So you can miss 4 out of a total of 100, but you can't miss 5 on one test and 3 on the other. It has to be 4 and 4. So my goal is definitely to get just 100% on this, because I don't want to be that guy that gets 5 on one and, or 5 on one and none on the other, and you still fail. So let's see. A cautious white center line, unbroken, painted on the highway means passing is prohibited. Yes, the broken line does mean that. All right. Any curb that is painted yellow usually means no parking. Okay, painted yellow means usually. I don't like that usually. So for me to be safe and not get my car towed in Italy, I'm going to always assume that yellow means no parking ever. Let's see. Any curb that is painted red usually means probably no parking ever. Let's see. Fire and emergency vehicles only. Okay, yeah, so no parking ever. Let's see. The turning on of headlights is mandatory from 1/2 hour before sunset and until 1/2 hour after sunset. So if you guys do like I do and just keep your lights on all the time, you're not going to fall into that problem. Sorry to change the subject. No, you guys could always change the subject. Tully says, Pico told me that he and his girlfriend lost their unborn baby. Yes, he made that announcement on the show, actually. I thought you were on the show when he made it. It probably was a time before you came in, or one of the shows that you didn't see. Yeah, he did. That's very sad. And I hope that is not the reason why they really haven't been on the show a lot. I hope that that they've really been busy. And I'm sure that it is. I'm sure that it is because they've really been busy, because they were on the show a couple of times ago. I can't remember when. I'm losing track of all the shows, doing 2 shows a day. I can't remember what shows or what. So interesting. So 1/2 hour before sunset until 1/2 hour after sunset. So the vehicle that we have waiting for us in Guam, that a friend is lending us, doesn't have like our vehicle has on our car that we have, that is being shipped there. It has lights that turn on automatically, so I'm going to have to remember to always put on my lights, because Italy, that's one thing, guys. Europe, Italy is Australia the same way. They give tickets like it's, and I don't know if they give tickets like it's going out of style. I shouldn't say that. Maybe some police will give you a break, and probably give me a break, because I'm going to tell them I'm new here, just got here. They'll probably give me a break. I shouldn't say, I misspoke and I apologize. I'm not saying that Italy police officers give tickets for no reason. The thing is that they're expensive. They are expensive. It's like, so you always have to, and this is this is no news to me. I was trying to tell my wife this. Well, I guess let me tell you guys first. I didn't tell you guys. So you have to keep a certain amount of equipment with you just in case your car breaks down. Like a cone. It's not a cone. It's not an actual cone, but those little diamond things. You have to keep them so you can put them at a certain amount of distance from the car, and you have to keep a flashlight that works, and I think a first aid kit. I think those are the three things from learning all this that you must have in your vehicle. A police officer can pull you over at any time. They don't need probable cause like in the United States and probably some other cities. So the cops usually sit and park their cars in a very, I don't know if it's busy or how they choose the location, but they park their car and they have what they call these lollipop stop signs. And if they pull you over, that's the same thing here on the base. It works the same thing on the base. If they pull you over, you must get over. You must have proof of insurance, driver's license, all that great stuff. And then they check your safety equipment. Now, me driving for a living for the United States Postal Service, I kind of already know the rules of commercial driving. So it seems like Europe, probably all of Europe, is very set on keeping all their drivers as if they're commercial drivers. That means that the commercial drivers must have another set of rules. So these rules that I'm learning now about Italy, thank you for smashing that heart. And if you're watching this in the recorded version, please smash that heart. It seems that it's normal for me, to have gear that I must have in my vehicle at all times, to have certain things that I must have in my vehicle at all times, and be ready for inspection at any time, because the supervisors can come up on you. When I worked for the Postal Service, at any time, say, okay, we're checking some stuff out, blah blah blah. They check you out, everything's cool. You keep delivering your route. So for me, it's normal to have this mindset that you have to have a first aid kit. You have to have cones. You have to, what was the other thing I said? First aid kits, cones. Oh, flashlight, of course, is new. But to have a certain amount of things on your possession in your vehicle to be stopped and checked at any time. Let's see. So Tully says, no, I must have missed it. Yes, I've been driving a stick shift. My dad tried to teach me, but I found it difficult to do. I've never driven a stick shift. Yeah, that's real funny. Let me read the rest of what you said. I can drive both manual and automatic. Now you could drive both manual and automatic? Wait, I'm confused. You said you never driven. I've never driven a stick shift. My dad tried to teach me, but I found it difficult. But now, are you saying now you can drive both automatic and stick shift? In Australia, the Postal Service is mostly done by motorcycle. Wow, that's crazy. By motorcycle, huh? They deliver big packages too in motorcycles. I'll tell you something that for me that was very funny when it came to driving automatic. So I don't know. Like I said, I got my driver's license at 19, I believe. My dad was like, "All right, you learned how to drive. You got your license. Good job. Now I'm going to teach you something else. Stick shift. Hello, stick shift. And this is stick shift." And I was like, oh my God, I just learned how to drive. Now I got to learn. I thought it was all over, Now I got to learn how to drive stick shift. And I'm really glad that my dad taught me that. Because learning to drive stick shift was easy to translate that into driving for a motorcycle. As long as you have the concept of gear and clutch and gas and all that, it was pretty much easy. But the one thing that I learned later on in life about driving a stick shift is what we call in America, and I know in different countries they call it different things, but what we call in America the friction zone. So if you ever want to know what the friction zone is, so if you get into a stick shift car, turn the car on. Nowadays with the cars you have to put the clutch in before the key will ever turn. Those are the newer ones. So if you want to know what the friction zone is, put your car in first gear and just lift up your left leg or your clutch leg. Just lift that leg up until the car moves on its own. That is um, the friction zone. They call it different things in different countries, but that is the friction zone. Lee K, thank you for joining the show. How are you? Frieri, thank you for joining the show. Where are you guys from? Well, I know where Kay is from. Kay is my friend from South Africa. But Frieri, I don't know where she's from. New name, Ta Ta Taiza? Taiza? I hope I pronounced that right. I'm bad with names, guys. Have you noticed? Yes, you have noticed. Thank you for noticing. Let's see. No, you have to collect big parcels from the postal service. Oh my God, are you for real? Wow. Don't tell the United States Postal Service that, because they'll they'll try to um, they'll try to implement that in their things as well. You know, when it comes to the postal service in America, the first thing was that there was a guy that delivered mail, and then there was a guy that delivered parcels. Okay, so they had two different. You might have two different deliveries at any time. One person delivers mail, gives you your mail, and then one person would deliver the parcels. And then over time, that became no. One person is going to deliver mail, and one person's going to deliver parcels. And now, the vehicles that they're driving now are so big, it isn't funny. Pretty soon they're going to be driving. America's going to be driving big Mack trucks because they're just going to keep pushing and pushing mail on us. Let's see. So if I read this one, let's see. In the absence of a special lane subject for scooters and bikes, how is the right of way determined under Italian law? Very interesting. Let's see the answer. We have the same right of way. They have the same right of way of. Wait. They have the same right of way as any automobile. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so which makes sense, you know. So let's see here. Is it a true or false? All pedestrians in the painted crosswalk have the right of way. Of course, that's true, just like in America. So Kay, how you doing? You're awfully quiet over there. Kay sending me some roses. Thank you, Kay, for the flowers. So let's move on to the next question. Let's see, another true or false. Off base. So off base. Okay. So there's some questions in here about how I'm to drive when I'm on the American base and how I'm to drive when I'm off the American base. So off the American base, Italian law requires you to stop for buses, schools, or others that are unloading and loading. I'm going to say false. It's false. Now, the bad thing about this quiz is that I said false. I wasn't really sure, but I went with false and I was right. But why? Why is it that I'm not required to stop for buses, schools, or other loading and unloading? Well, unloading and unloading, I can see that. If we stopped all of the traffic for someone that was unloading instead of trying to go around them when possible, we'd never get anywhere. That's my. Let's see, another true or false. There are no right turns on the red traffic light allowed in Italy. I'm going to say true. Italy seems to be very strict. I'm going to say that it's true. And the answer's coming up. True. Oh, so I was right. There are no right-hand turns. So if I come to a right-hand turn, I'm going to have to get that out of my system, because in America, almost everywhere you go, you can make a right-hand turn at a red light unless specified. So what are the rules in South Africa, Kay? What are the rules in Australia, Tully? So what type of vehicle, car or van will you be driving? I don't know what year it is, but I think it's a Honda I mean, Hyundai accent. Hyundai, Hyundai accent, sorry. Hyundai accent. So it's a Hyundai accent. The One of our friends bought it when they went to Italy. They left Italy, so they decided to leave it for us in in Italy. So when we get to Italy, we got a 2 week quarantine. Can't come near anybody. We can go out after 10 o'clock, I think the rules are. So after 10 o'clock, we can go out. Our dogs won't be with us then because they feel that the dogs need to be walked a lot, and they don't want us to have to go outside. So the dogs won't be with us yet. I think it's an accent, not a Excel. I think it's an accent, but you got the rate. You got the rate, the right make, just not the right model. I think it's an accent. I could be wrong about it. It could be that kind of vehicle. I don't know. But so we won't get the dogs for 2 weeks. But so in the 2 weeks, I'm gonna really press down real hard and get on this test, so I can get my license the minute that we come out of quarantine. Let's see. You are required to use your headlights when driving through tunnels. Yes, true. That one already came up, just in a different form. In Italy, as most European countries, negligence resulting in injury or death due to others constitutes a criminal offense. That's true. Wow. See how strict they are? I don't, I'm sorry. But if you get into an accident, that's really not your fault. Now, if I was on the phone and someone's hit and they're killed, yes, that's a criminal offense. But if I'm driving and I don't know, my tire blows out and I swerve into someone and I kill them, should it be a criminal offense for me? That's an accident. It's unfortunate that someone died from it, but that's an accident, but not in Italy. So you got to take it serious when you're there. So Kay says, we have zones on roadsides for vans offloading and for taxis and buses, but taxi stops wherever they want and stops traffic and get away with it. Yeah, unfortunately, that's probably a lot in most cities. But even though I have seen cities where they are very strict on taxis, they are extremely strict on taxis, and if they try to do something like that, they will be in trouble. That's for sure. You guys like my pink car? Because real men drive pink cars. That's what I'm talking about right there. All right, let's see. Let's get another question in here. Kate says, I was in an accident, passenger, not my fault. I almost died. Wow, but nobody was held accountable. The case was dropped. Wow. Man, that's I'm sorry to hear that. You hear that all too often, unfortunately. So let's see. Next question. You should rely only on watchmen, gates, or automatic warning devices when approaching railroad crossings. Oh, of course not, unless you want to die. And Kay says, real men wear pink. Yes, we do. Tully drives a Nissan Pathfinder 2000. Oh, nice. That's a nice big vehicle. So it's false. Yes, of course that's false, guys. Remember we talked yesterday. Remember, Tully? We talked yesterday about erring on the side of safety. So if you see no watchman to tell you, hey, there's a train coming, stop, or no gates, or no automatic warning devices, you should approach the railroad crossing with caution, because you don't want to, end up in any kind of trouble. So let's say here, an Italian certificate of insurance, white and yellow card, okay, it's called a white and yellow card, is required to be displayed on your vehicle at all times while in Italy. See, now this is the kind of stuff I need to study, because this is the stuff that I need to get right, because I know they're gonna want to know this kind of stuff. And Kay does a smiley face. Smiley face right back at you, girl. All right. So let's see. True. Oh wow. Okay. So the yellow and the white and yellow card must be displayed at all times. So I hope it's a sticker. I hope when they say card, it's not actually a card. I hope it's a sticker that they're going to give that can be stuck on the window. In New York City, they have that. When I lived in Vegas, we didn't have that, but in New York City, we had it. There was a sticker that had to be placed on the window, so they can read when it expires and stuff like that. But in Vegas, they just put a sticker on your license plate, and it's color coded to the month and the year, so they know when it expires. Big Little Books, big little voice books. Thank you for joining the show. How are you doing? Long time no see. All right, next question. If you're just joining us, guys, I'm working on getting my Italian driver's license, so I thought I would share questions with you guys and find out how you guys live. So now we have someone from South Africa, someone from Australia, and someone from the UK. Did I get everything right, guys? So we got a good branch of people here. No, I am not in Italy now. Visa has not come in, guys, to update you. My dogs are in Italy, enjoying their vacation in Italy. I hope they appreciate that we sent them to Europe to go live for a while. But we are not there yet. Unfortunately, the consulate in Italy is still backed up, so we haven't got our visa yet. Such is life. Okay, let's see. All AFI, Allied Force Italy, registered vehicles must have seatbelts mounted for every occupant in the vehicle. I'm going to say yes, because I know from my friends who live in the UK, and correct me if this has changed, guys, but my friends who live in the UK have told me, and I think also in Australia, they told me that if everyone in the vehicle has to have their seatbelts on, where in America it's just the two people in front have to have their seatbelts on, where in most cities it's everybody. You get in the vehicle, you have to have a seatbelt on. All right, so true. Yes, you must have your seatbelts for every occupant. All right, moving right along. All right, except for in cases of immediate danger, the use of sound signal horns are prohibited in most inner cities. That's going to be very interesting to see how that works. Especially for me, I got to learn. I use my horn to communicate a lot. Sometimes, yes, I'll admit, I use it to curse. I use my horn to curse. I use my horn to say, hey, buddy, stay in your lane. I use my horn to say, hey, how you doing? I do. And in Australia, you can't do, it's not Australia, Italy, you can't do that. So I'm going to have to really calm that down. Coming from New York, it's just first nature to just beep your horn. Kay says, here, just two in front. Oh, okay. Although it's a law, it's overlooked. Oh, wow. I'm really surprised. Yeah, that law is not overlooked. There's two in front, just the two people in front, and it is not overlooked. Let's see. Here people are horn happy. Yes, in New York too, very horn happy. So let's see. Okay, so that's true. I don't know if I gave the answer, but it is true. Except for in the immediate danger. So you can't honk your horn to say hi to your friend, and of course you never honk your horn to say hi to a girl. That's not right. You don't do that. That is not right to do. Let's see. Kay says that's for seatbelts. What do you mean that's for seatbelts? Mm, right. I think you're talking about your other question about just two in front. Yes, I got that. All right, let's move right along here. It is illegal to talk while on cell phones while driving when except for when using hands-free devices. That's a piece of cake one right there. I'm gonna get that one right. You don't even have to ask. You know I'm getting that one right. Next one. Your driving attitude in Europe may determine your accident status. Well, am I reading that right? True. Did anybody understand that, or was it just me that's like, what the hell am I talking about? I don't even know what I'm talking about. Your driving attitude in Europe may determine your accident status. Okay, I'm going to have to look up on that some more. All right, we're going to move on to the next one. But that was true, by the way. You're required to report. Maybe that's one that they translated and didn't really, and it got lost in translation. Translation. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. You are required to report to the MPs on the air on or Air Force Police any vehicle accident, however, signs which you may have the IAW Army regulations. I think that's just for service members. I don't think that includes me. Maybe it does. Maybe that's why they have it in this test. But I don't know if that includes me as a civilian. Let's see. Kay says. She says, probably makes sense. Road rage. Yeah, that's probably what that was about. You're probably right, Kay. Tully says to Kay, yes, that's what it's like in Australia, unfortunately. A lot of road rage, huh? All right, here we go. We get another question here. And Kay, please don't forget to smash that heart one time. And if you're watching this in the recorded version on YouTube at our Nonfiction Filmmaker channel or here on Instagram, please be sure to smash that heart, comment, and like. All right, let's see. We got a few more minutes here, guys, so we'll do some more questions. If you are involved in an accident, which is clearly not your fault, that's very interesting. You need not to stop to render aid to injured or to identify yourself. No, that's definitely false, people. Easy. I hope if it's going to be true or false, I'm getting my license, guys. I mean, this test really isn't designed to like stump us because they want the Americans that get there to have their freedom and to drive and not drive without a license. That's definitely don't want that. I'm just hoping that if I fail, that we can have a backup. Like, is Uber in Italy, or do they have their version of Uber? It'd be interesting to know. But that's definitely false. You must always render aid whether it's not your fault. Can you imagine that? Hey, it's not my fault. I don't have to stop. I got somewhere I gotta be. That would be very sad. Italian law requires that halt, parked, or wrecked vehicles which jeopardize traffic be made recognizable at a significant distance by triangle. We talked about that earlier, right, guys? Reflecting warning signs. Yep, I would say that's true. Let's see if I'm right. Yep, that's true. So, as I said earlier, in Italy, you must have the triangle reflecting warning signal, a flashlight, and a first aid kit in your vehicle at all times. Kendall, thank you for joining the show. Olivia Kendall, thank you for joining the show. Where are you from, Olivia? All right, so, and if you're just joining us, hopefully in a couple of months I'll be in Italy, or a couple of weeks I'll be in Italy, and I'll be able to get my license. So I'm kind of studying now for the license. So the minute I get in there, I get my license and I get hit the ground running. You know what I'm saying? There must be a lot of people, Tully says, moving to Italy if it takes you so long to get a response. Yeah, I would think so. And I think Italy has, it's very interesting because I believe Italy is one of the European states, or is it right to call them states or countries that have that have shut the doors, okay, to America. So I don't think these people are, or maybe they are. I don't think these people are putting in a visa to go and on vacation, because I don't think you need a visa just to go on vacation. The reason we need a visa is because my wife's going to be working there. So these visas are definitely all work related. It could be people making films in Italy, Americans making films in Italy. Being that they're going to work there, they need to get a visa. So, yeah, it's got to be a lot of people. You're absolutely right. Good statement, Telly. Good observation, too. All right, moving on to the next one. We got a few more. In an effort to save wear and tear on your vehicle and to save gas, it is a good practice to disengage your clutch or shift to neutral when going downhill. I believe that's a false. I don't believe you can do that. I think that's illegal to do that. Let's see if I'm right. Come on, answer takes a while to come up. Come on, there it is. Yeah, false. Don't know if you guys can see that. I don't think you could, but false. Yeah. If you do that, you're. How do you get your vehicle back into gear? And that's just so unsafe. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Let's see. I believe that it's quite cheap, Tully says, to purchase a house in Italy. So far, I could tell you Italy. I could tell you, Tully, that we find that things like, if a television costs about $500 in America, it's about $7 in Italy. So I don't know. Maybe it might not be cheap. I know places like Thailand would be cheap to buy land. Kay says, so travel restrictions have been lifted worldwide. Didn't you know? So glad. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, that's interesting. Well, actually, wait. No, I'm not talking about travel restrictions. I'm talking about Europe actually saying, this is what we read a couple of months ago when we first found out we were moving to Italy, that Italy has literally said that they want to keep Americans tourists out because America is still infected with the coronavirus, because Americans are dumb. I already told you my opinion on this, right? Americans are dumb. And being that I was born and raised there, no one can say nothing to me. I can say Americans are dumb. Right? They think that this virus is not real, and they're going about business as usual. And because of that, there's a lot of bad cases in America, and they brought it here. We were doing so well until a big group of Americans were coming in. So now our numbers went up again, and now we're on lockdown. If I told you guys, that's why yesterday's show. And if you didn't see yesterday's show, go check it out. We did 2 shows about cabin fever, what it is, and how to avoid it. So go check that out in our IGTV section, or check it out on YouTube at Nonfiction Filmmaker. Don't forget to put the dash between the non and the fiction. It's easier to find us. And you guys that are watching right now, I hope you're all following us on Nonfiction Filmmaker. Let's see. So here's another question. I already said this. Yeah, we already went through that. Sorry. Next one. Fog is more likely to be encountered in low places. True. It takes such a long time for this to come up. Let's see. Tully says, okay, you should move to Australia. I haven't a what there, so he keeps me in the loop. Oh, okay. But he is keeping safe as he knows the virus is real. Yeah. No, the virus isn't real, guys. Come on. Don't fall for that. So, yes, true. Fog is most likely to be encountered in low places. Yeah, no problem. Meant friends in the U.S. Oh, you meant friends in the U.S. Okay, I thought you meant that you had a friend in Australia. Let's see. Tully says there's a lot of South African people who have moved here. I hear there's a lot of people from Africa that have moved to Italy too. Um, be interesting to see that what's going on there. Let's see. We got time? Yeah, we got time. Drivers must slow down well in advance of a curve or while making a turn. That's going to be true. Yep. All right. So we're going to do one more. One more, guys. Here it is. One more. See if you guys can guess what it is. Do not accelerate are when you are being taken over. Slow down if necessary to let the overtaking vehicle pass. Let me stop. So that is true. That is true. You never want to speed up when someone. Thoughts of a home school mom. Thank you for joining the show. That's a cool name. All right, so that's our last question for today. Maybe we'll do some more tomorrow. About passing in lanes in Italy that I've learned so far is I really like this, and I wish they implement this in America. I've heard that they have, but they're not really enforcing it, and they should. When if you're just driving, you should be in the far right-hand lane. Just like I'm sure in Australia, you got to be in the far left-hand lane. Do they drive on the left side, Kay, in South Africa? I'm gonna say yes because that South Africa is occupied mostly by the UK, and the UK drives on the left side. So I'm gonna say yes. But if you could answer me, Kay, before we go, that would be awesome. Um, they should implement this in America. They should definitely bring this to America, where when you're driving, you stay on your right. If you're passing, you get into your left lane, you pass, and then you get back over to your right. Because all too many times you got this guy or girl always going 25 on a 35 in the middle or the far left lane, and I hate that. Don't do that. Don't do that, people. The other lanes are for passing you. Is a car in front of you is going slow, move over to the next lane, pass him, and get back into the right hand or left hand lane, depending on where you're from. And Kay says yes. Okay, so they drive on the left side. There's one thing I'm really gonna end it with this. I really hate Americans because I've never seen any other group of people say this, but if Australians say it too, and people from South Africa say it too, I think you're making yourself sound ridiculous when people say, or Americans drive on the wrong side, or people in Australia or the UK, they drive on the wrong side. Who's to say the right or the left is the correct side? It's just a different side. That's it. And I just think that that how stupid people are. And I've only really heard Americans say this. I don't think I've heard anyone from other countries say this when they say, oh, they drive on the wrong side in the UK or wherever. I think it makes you sound really stupid, I think. Because unless you have stats that driving on the right side is safer than driving on the left, you can't say that driving on the right is the right side. That's my little thing for you to think about, guys, until tomorrow. Tully, one last thing. Kay says, thank you for the chat. Gotta go. See you later. Bye. See you Thursday, okay? Tully says, we drive on the right in Australia. Whoops, I mean left side. Yes. Yeah, I know that because, like I said, I had a friend from Australia. They kept on trying to go to the left, and we were like, you gotta stay on the right. You gotta stay on the right. And Tully says, I don't know, can't think. Yeah, bye, Kay. Thank you for stopping by, Kay. I really appreciate that. All right, guys, for real, this is it. Thank you for joining us. Wish me luck on learning to drive this test because I'm trying to learn Italian. Now I've got this test that I really have to learn because if not, then me and my family are not going to be able to drive around. And Ubers can get expensive, and I don't know, or taxis. I'm sure they have taxis if they don't have Ubers. Those can get expensive, so I really gotta get on this and really learn how to drive. So wish me luck with that. Thank you for tuning in. Again, whether you're watching this in the live version or the recorded version, please smash that heart. Please make a comment in the comment section. Please remember to screenshot one of your favorite posts and put it on your post so we can shout you out. That's how we shout you out. And Tully says bye. Bye, Tully. Live feed with your host, Richard Santiago, is brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher. For your digital resources, check out travelingtechteacher.com. Also brought to you by thebullyexposed.com. 501c3 nonprofit organization geared at helping survivors of bullying, so let them help you. Don't forget to go to represent.com/store/thebullyexposed to get your t-shirt. We got some cool t-shirts out there, guys. New York style t-shirts. If you want to get those, check them out. And as usual, anyone can wear the crown. Anyone can be a hero. Be kind to one another, guys, as you go out today. And have a great day. Bye.